Kirsten Liebelt, come on in, you guys. Grab your coffee, grab your tea. I have my water and my aminos. Happy Monday. How was your weekend? I would love to know. How was your weekend? I had such a great weekend. I always have a good weekend because I usually get to spend time with my grandbabies. I mean, I sneak over there during the week too sometimes, but a little extended time with my grands. And gosh, you know what? I'm just saying, like, it's almost summer in Minnesota. And I know if you're in Minnesota, you're like, it is not. That's not true. I know, but this is where I live in my head. Okay. So you just leave me alone. March comes and I'm like, it's summer. I mean, I know it's not really, but I'm just going to choose to believe and live like it is. So there you go. If you do not know who I am, and this is like your first time on my content, put a 1 in the comments and tell me where you're coming in from. I would love to know. It's been such an amazing journey to make friends with y'all from all over the United States and Canada. Sometimes we even have people popping in from other countries, and it's so fun. We've done this show for like 2 years. So Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, we go live. And this is literally kind of like, welcome to our group coaching. You can like peek in on our own little group coaching. We do insulin resistance conversation because that's my own story. I lost my dad when I was 30 years old. He was super young himself. He was 63. He had been an Italian restaurateur in Minneapolis when I was a little girl. And then he owned furniture stores. And right when he became a grandpa, I mean, within that range, right? Like my kids were 6'3" and 6 months old. He was a fresh grandpa. He died, type 2 diabetes. He did it all. So when I started to figure things out and I started to put my pieces together and then realized that this is actually how you lose weight, keep it off. I avoided type 2. I'm the only one in my family that did, even though I was gestational diabetic with my first baby. I went, we're not being given very good information, are we? The matrix is not helping us out at all. So that's when I started to share locally. I started to share online with you guys. Now I like have friends all over the country. It's like I could go so many different states and meet you guys and hug you and get to meet you. And I would love every minute of it. And so if you are ever in Minnesota, this is just a little side note. If you're ever in Minnesota and I talk about having a local event, come and say hi, come and meet me. I love that so much. That has happened many times now. And I just think it's the best ever. Like you guys just show up, you stalk me on my stories and you know, find out where things are and you come and show up and I love it. It's the best. Good morning, Peggy. Good to see you. Very, very good to see you. Okay. So this is what we want to do today. I actually want to talk to you about, we're going to talk about the insulin estrogen connection, because this touches for every single female around. And every single time I talk about this, and I'll bring fresh information in today, but every single time we talk about this, everybody goes, it's kind of like your V8 moment. You're like, oh my stars. And then you wonder why this is not being taught to you by your doctor, why this is not being talked about to you by your OBGYN, why you're not like, why are they making this so freaking hard? Why is it always all about like this and you know, pharma and whatever? And I have to be careful with my words, but you know what I mean. Good morning, Frances. You're on the live today. I love it, love it, love it. So good to see you. I hope you and your husband are doing well. They are a husband team doing the total body reset together. I love that. I think that's wonderful. Talk about taking back your own health. Good morning, Jody. Sun is shining in Minnesota. It just doesn't get any better. Amazing. I mean, we still have March. And what that means for March is usually pretty decent snow. We just know it'll go away. So, okay, let's dive in today. And if you are brand new and you're just kind of like stalking a little tiny bit, listen, if you are on the live and you have been considering purchasing the Total Body Reset, we have a product that is actually getting reformulated. One of the 6 products is getting reformulated in the bundle. And for people who become new customers while I'm on live, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but while I'm on live, I'm going to send you a free one of those. So you're going to end up then with a backup. I hope that excites people because that is such a phenomenal product. Yes, I am. I think I'm testing a third option right now for a replacement, and I think it's the one. So just to let you know, FYI, I've got your back. They're pulling it in April. Unless you are on the West Coast, I'm so sorry. You can contact me and you can purchase it through me if you would like to in the meantime. All right. Francis, I get so excited. I really do, because you know what? Then you can encourage each other, right? Let's dive into content at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Excuse me. We have our free challenge in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Give your email, tell them Kirsten sent you, and you can jump in there too. And we do this 5 days now this week, and I'll tell you, this is our 32nd one. It's a success principle, you guys, to show up on group coaching like this, to show up in the challenge every month, to get a nugget here and a nugget there. This is how you actually win. This is how you actually, like for me, I've never lost weight and kept it off in my entire life until I was in my 50s. And I made this connection that I'm going to talk to you about right now. When I made this connection with my insulin resistance, it was like the light bulb went off. I was like, this can't possibly be true. And then I will teach you exactly what I did to lose my 3 sizes and keep them off. So this is what we're going to talk about today, the estrogen connection. But this is why it's really so important, because, I remember hearing people say things like, they just don't pay enough attention to women's health. We just don't get enough backup. They just dismiss us. And I always thought to myself, I was in my early 30s and I'm thinking, well, I don't feel that way. That can't possibly be true. Like, that's kind of weird. And I, why are you, being so negative? Why are you being so negative? And the truth is that I just didn't have an understanding yet because I had no female needs other than I gave birth, right? And I mean, although I could have looked at those and said some of the same things, but that just wasn't my headspace. But then as I started to understand these connections, like with estrogen and insulin resistance, I was like, this is absolutely insane that we are not teaching women, because I really do believe that women are sliding into their 40s. They're insulin resistant. They don't know it. And it is a piece of the puzzle as to why they cannot lose weight. And they think like they have to just live with whatever it is that they have. Like, okay, well, my body is changing now. Oh, well, this is the way it's going to be. My body shape, my body composition, my body size, my body softness, my body, whatever. Oh, well, this is just the way that it's going to be. That's not true. It's not true. We just haven't been given decent enough information by anybody. That's what the problem is. But today we're going to fix that, right? So this was me at a 2X when I was 50. And now that I've lost my 3 sizes, kept it off, and I'm still on my journey, you guys, I feel like I have a freaking key. I have a key that I can now take with me. I do not fear gaining that weight back anymore. I just don't. And I know that sounds crazy. And it probably sounds crazy because you're just like me. My entire life, I was like, well, we'll see how long this is going to last, because I didn't have understanding. I just kept trying to throw spaghetti at the wall. I just kept trying to put Band-Aids all over my body. Oh, this system and this prepackaged this prepackaged program and this, I'm gonna weigh in every week. I'm gonna live in my calorie deficit. I'm gonna only eat protein bars. Whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Let's get down to brass tacks, people. Let's get down to good stuff. Okay. Here we go. Joan, good morning. Coach Kirsten, great to see you ready for today. I'm so glad. You are awesome. I'm going to take that off. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Let's focus. So, quick show of hands. Have you ever said any of these things lately? Okay, here we go. I didn't change anything, but my body changed. And some of you may be like me, you have to think back a little bit, but you remember that time in that season where things changed. You didn't change anything. Like you were just doing life, do. Everything was the same, status quo, but then all of a sudden your body just shifted and changed, right? How about fasting used to work for me? Now it makes me shaky or obsessive about food. Have you said that one? Or why do my jeans fit on Monday and feel tight by Thursday? Sometimes maybe by that night, but you know what I mean. Or I'm not even eating that much. I hear this one all the time. You guys say this one to me a lot. I'm not even eating that much. Why am I gaining like right here? Belly fat. Why am I gaining it all in my belly? I'm not even eating that much. Now I want you to hear this part. So you are not, you're not broken. You're not like unique. You're not different. You really aren't. Your midlife body just shifts. Okay. But we have answers. We don't have to like just settle, right? But nobody explains it kind of like in plain English. So that's what we're going to do today. So this is what I want to explain. 3 different versions of the same woman. Okay. So you decide where you are following on the line. Okay. And maybe what'll help you is if you think back to where you were, if you're further along down the road, think back and go, oh my stars, if I would have understood that back then. And then you can share this with other people. Like for me, I'm 61. My daughter is 34. She's 34. So golly, jeepers. If I would have understood this information in my 30s, are you kidding me? If I would have gotten this in my 40s, oh man, I would not have agonized so much over this. So number 1, you might be having regular periods. Number 2, you might be perimenopause and you're on that roller coaster. Or number 3, you are menopause and it's now your new baseline. Okay. So same woman, same effort, different internal chemistry. So that's why sometimes people come at me with different, but I'm here and I'm here and I'm here and there's just different little pieces to your puzzle, right? But it's kind of all the same basic without taking it to the next step, which you could if you wanted to, without taking it to the next step of tons and tons of testing, that kind of a thought process. I just never had to go down that route. So I just assumed that there are other women that were just like me. So in your cycling years, okay, this is where it really starts to make sense. Okay. When you have your cycle, estrogen is the helper that keeps your metabolism more flexible. We like estrogen. That is very helpful, right? It's keeping your metabolism flexible. You still have your cycle. Life is going good, even if you are kind of heading towards perimenopause. But estrogen helps your body to be more insulin sensitive. Estrogen helps your body to be more insulin sensitive. This is why it can be sometimes, not always, because I had a lot of men in my family that were obese and type 2, but sometimes it can be harder on women. And then we are so hard on ourselves. Okay. But especially in your muscle, so that sugar gets used for energy instead of being stored. So you want insulin sensitivity in your muscles so that you can store the sugar the food that's turning into sugar when you're eating. Okay. So you might have been able to skip a breakfast and be fine. You might have been able to do keto and feel steady. You might have been able to bounce back quickly, like after a weekend. But if insulin resistance is quietly building, and remember, it's not just about food, stress, bad sleep, ultra processed foods, you're chronically dieting, it's constant, then even in your normal years, you start noticing these things. Now, I have a feeling that a lot of you will resonate with these symptoms that I'm going to talk about because these are super common to all of us. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Vicki. Good to see you. Very, very good. Woohoo. I love that. So here we go. Maybe you're having way more energy crashes. You're having those hangry feelings. You guys, I'm telling you, being hangry is a sign, and it's not a character flaw. It's a sign. It's like you should go, what the heck? Why am I hangry? It's literally a symptom. Okay. Cravings that feel super loud, like your cravings are like, eat carbs now, eat sugar now. And you're like, what is going on? Like, I just can't get enough, right? Your belly weight is like creeping, 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 expanding. And you're like, muffin top overload. What am I supposed to do with this? Now I have to buy a different brand, a different size, but then now my legs are swimming or whatever. You're trying to accommodate for something way up here, yada, yada, right? So you do maybe a good breakfast, maybe a yogurt or a granola bar. We can talk about that. But then by 10:30, you're like rummaging for something sweet. You think it's willpower. It's not. It's your blood sugar insulin pattern. It is your blood sugar insulin pattern. And I cannot state this enough. I was just talking to somebody the other day by text and going, I know that we want to eat balanced. We want to eat healthy according to what we were indoctrinated to believe. But when you're eating foods, I don't care if it's real maple syrup and real honey, and it doesn't matter. Once you've entered insulin resistance land, you just have to tweak until you can exit. You got to do life differently until you can exit properly. It's just the way that it is, because otherwise you're going to stay in that cycle. And then you're going to be the person in my DMs going, but I eat healthy. I do all the right things. Listen to what I'm eating. I'm eating oatmeal for breakfast, and I'm having real maple syrup and real honey. And I'm eating, dates and what, and I'm like, you're just eating sugar all day long. But because it's real food, which we want real food, but you're already insulin resistant. So that strategy has to change. Okay? It just has to change. So it's your blood sugar insulin pattern that keeps you like rummaging for food. Your cravings are just right there all the time, just right there. Okay? Now, number 2, you could be perimenopausal. Welcome to the wonderful world of perimenopause, right? This is the roller coaster that nobody really quite warns you about. It's a little cray-cray, right? And you're really thinking maybe you're nuts. What's wrong with me? That was me. What's wrong with me? Okay. So here's something that most people don't tell women, because hormone levels swing so much in perimenopause. Big menopause organizations actually caution that testing hormones often isn't that helpful for figuring out what's going on. So women get really stuck in this loop. So my labs are fine. Why do I feel insane? 1 week fasting feels great. Next week, it totally backfires on me. I'm puffy. I'm moody. I'm tired. I can't explain it. Here's the under the radar connection. Insulin can be a part of your hot flash story. And when you can deal with the hormone insulin, the main hormone that's driving your cuckoo banananess, turning everything else upside down, you will begin to rein it back in. You'll begin to get the benefits of tamping down that insulin. Okay. It's such a big conversation. So sometimes hormone symptoms are also just a metabolic symptom. Okay. So this is where maybe you're waking up at 3 a.m. and your brain turns on like a laptop. You're like, no, I'm awake. Your blood sugar swings and your stress hormones can make nights really, really rough. Okay. Because what happens is your blood sugar swings, and then when it crashes, your adrenaline kicks in and your cortisol rises and you wake up. What? And now you're awake, kind of a little heart racing, etc. It's hormonal, right? You can't tolerate maybe coffee the same. Now it makes you shaky. Has anybody been having that issue where coffee starts to make you shaky? Or do you remember that issue a long, long time ago? Maybe you're not eating more. Like I said, remember, you're not changing anything. You're just staying the same, status quo, but your body is totally changing. You're storing more around the middle. All of a sudden, hello, I've just been living my normal life for the last decade. And now all of a sudden, it's piling on right here. What up? Why is that happening? Okay, that's perimenopause. Menopause might feel like this, When menopause hits, estrogen is lower consistently. Right? Going down, down, down. And the Endocrine Society notes that the reduction in estrogen production increases. Wait for it. Wait for it. The reduction in estrogen production increases insulin resistance. So this is why a lot of you are like, my belly showed up out of nowhere. I eat less. I'm gaining more. Oh, you guys, so frustrating. I can't out-discipline this. You're feeling like you just can't out-discipline this. And you're right. Okay. I mean, to a certain extent, because once you realize the core, you can fix the core. So what's happening is estrogen used to help keep your insulin sensitivity smoother, especially in muscle and fat tissue pathways. When estrogen is lower, it's easy for the body to drift toward visceral fat and metabolic issues. Most women blame themselves instead of blaming the rule change. Your body didn't become weak. The rules just changed. So this is where I come in and I try to remind you over and over and over again, listen, stop beating yourself up. You just have to now shift your paradigm. You have to shift the narrative in your head from I suck and I'm a loser to, okay, I have to work within the rule changes because that's just how this goes. When my insulin or when my estrogen goes down, my insulin resistance increases. So let's get with it. Let's just follow the new set of rules, right? So you don't have to be a hormone expert. And this is the part where, so you may not know this about me, but when I came online and I started creating content, I was talking more broadly about hormones. And hormones is there's a lot to it, right? There are a lot of conversations because it's coming from so many different directions. Because you have people that they just have a lot going on. Okay. The scenarios are somewhat limitless. Let's put it that way. And it got to be very muddy waters. And it wasn't until I went narrowed down to one hormone that is messing with all the other hormones, including you've got thyroid issues. You're like, but I'm different. I have thyroid issues. That doesn't make you different. Your thyroid hormones are converted in your liver. All of your hormones are being regulated by your liver. So this is why I went the opposite route. I went, okay, fine. We won't talk about all the different, obviously other than insulin. Let's get to the core conversation of how to help your system regulate your hormones better and deliver you a different result. This is why we get the testimonies that we do, because we do root cause wellness. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It's really, really cool. And there are simple things that you can do, really simple things. And we'll go through them here really quickly. Good morning, Sharon. Beautiful British Columbia. Good to see you. Very good to see you. Susan, good morning. She has such a really good testimony as well. I love that. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so simple things that you can do, okay? And then I'm going to tell anybody who is wanting to, if you've been thinking about starting the Total Body Reset, I'm going to tell you how to get a free full-size product from me if you purchase while I'm live. I'm going to tell you that in just a minute, okay? Here we go. Simple things. You have to be protein focused. I just have this conversation so much with people. If you are still thinking that you should be getting your protein from grains and beans, I just really want to challenge that for a minute because that's not helping you at all. The carbs are so high. It doesn't mean God made bad food because he didn't. But number one, all of our grains have been, it doesn't matter. I'm not going down that road. I'm editing myself right now because that's not the road I want to go down. Grains will just spike your sugars too much when you are insulin resistant. Listen, if you want to really get a handle on your spiking sugar, calling on insulin, storing fat around your belly conversation, and you want to be in a different place come the beginning of June when we are hitting summer at full speed ahead, this is one change that you can make big time. I got up this morning. I had 2 eggs. That's 12 grams of protein. I had a chicken sausage. That's 13. That's 25. And then I had an Oikos 000 yogurt. That's 15. I had 40 grams of protein this morning. And now I will not even, my blood sugar will be so stable. My mood will be so stable. My belly will be so full, and I won't need to eat again for hours. And that is exactly what my body wants. Stop eating and calling on insulin. Stop snacking. That's what my body is saying. Stop snacking every 2 hours. Okay, and remember, food is one section of this, and I get it, but protein, you have to focus on protein. That does not spike your sugars. Okay, don't force fasting when your body is stressed. People ask me a lot about what do I think about intermittent fasting, and I'm like, I'm not against it because you know what? If it's working for you, that's great, but I don't teach it because I feel like there's a component in there that's not quite helpful for women who are perimenopause, menopause, post. It's just not. In midlife, fasting can be a tool, but if you're already stressed and insulin resistant, it can actually backfire and make you rebound eat. So I just don't teach it. It's not my wheelhouse. And I just think that we collectively are dealing with stress and lack of sleep. Okay. Number 3, build muscle. Because when you build muscle, you are building a glucose sink. Build muscle. That's why I have my squat machine. That's why I'm not really building muscle on the vibration plate. So I don't want to pretend that that's true. That's not. I'm doing minimal, like, cause I can do, I do a lot of like calf stuff and whatever. So, and your calves actually are super important to be a glucose sink. But do resistance bands, do things that are building muscle, right? This is why, to be really honest, I have my muscle multiplier. Those are my aminos. They're sugar-free. They're in my water every single day because I want to preserve muscle and lose fat. Okay, here we go. You don't need to become a gym person, but muscle helps your body handle glucose better. Okay. This is why, like, walking after meals, doing some light resistance bands, etc., it's huge. It makes such a big difference. Such a small thing can make such a big difference. Okay. Number 4, support your stress and sleep because stress raises insulin too. And I know we talk about this a lot. And sometimes this is the piece that's taking you the longest to figure out. And it's okay to take that journey. It just is going to take you time. Some of you have come out of a stressful, traumatic experience. Maybe it was a divorce. Maybe it was the death of somebody. Maybe it was taking care of a dementia parent. I know about that. Maybe, I worked with a customer the other day. I got on the phone with her. She did not want to miss the customer campaign in February, but she's literally at the hospital having flown to a completely different state to be a part of a family dynamic. Somebody's in the ICU. And I said, you should be really proud of yourself right now for continuing to take care of your body while you're going through something super stressful. She's like, I'm not going to let this derail me. I'm going to be here for my family, do the things that I need to do, but I'm going to continue to support my systems because what's the alternative? What, are you going to fall apart? You're going to crumble crumble like a cracker? You can't do that. Crumble like a cookie? You can't do that. You have to support your systems, okay? So support your sleep is not a luxury. You hit perimenopause, menopause, it's not a luxury anymore. I know sleep was a luxury when you were raising your babies and you're like, I just had a 3-hour nap and I feel like $1,000,000. You're just like, wow. Or you just had a full night's sleep in that season, and that's a hard season, right? I tell this to my daughter all the time. It's okay to recognize it's a lot. You're raising little humans. It's a very tall order, right? It's a very noble thing to do. It's hard. It's not easy. But when we are in perimenopause and menopause, This is metabolic medicine, you guys. This is why we did the Sleep Master class. Raise your hand if you've never heard me talk about the Sleep Master class. I will tell you how you can watch it. It's free. I'll tell you where you can watch it. All right. So this is kind of midlife physiology and why we end up where we end up. And this is why we feel unheard. This is why we feel dismissed. This is why we sometimes feel no hope. Sometimes feel very much a lack of hope. And we're like, this is just the way it's going to be. That's where I was. I was like, I think I'm just supposed to just embrace being fat. Like, I'm just going to embrace being overweight, Italian. I can get away with it. What does it matter? And not really believing that I could make the shifts necessary because we've been taught that this is so hard. It's so mountainous. And I'm kind of here to say it's kind of not. It's kind of not. This is harder because it's your mindset. And this is harder because it's your heart connection to food, all of your traditions, all of your memories, maybe even all of the things that have been said to you when you were a child. Those things are harder to change because you're like, oh, they've always been so disappointed in me or something like that. Nobody has ever believed in me. And now you mean I have to believe in myself? Oh, I don't know if I can do that. Right? That kind of stuff. So that's the hard part. Everything else is not hard. It's not. So there we go. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Because I'm going to talk about total body reset and give you some testimonies and give you some encouragement and some hope. And again, if you're brand new and you're like, I've been watching, I love it when you guys reach out to me and I encourage you to do it. I've been watching you for 3 months. I've been watching you for a year and I finally am ready to pull the trigger or whatever. Well, I'm telling you, do it while I'm live and get a free product. Do it that way. Okay, let's do it that way. But let me just share with you what I'm even talking about so that you can have a clue. So when you are insulin resistant and, again, when your estrogen has completely declined because maybe you're in menopause or it's on the decline because you're peri, your insulin sensitivity is like going out the window. It's very challenging. And now you're like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do for my body. Like, how am I supposed to even help it? Well, this is where we have to go a little bit deeper. And this is where I feel like people are missing the mark. They're missing the whole goal, which is to go deeper. If you have high insulin, you cannot burn fat. If you have a sluggish liver, you cannot burn fat. You have to fix these two things, physiologically speaking, in order for your body to respond. When I was my 2X in size, you guys, like that was normal for me. The only other time I had ever been, skinny in my life was when I was 30. No, 2 times in my life. Senior in high school, so I was 18. And then when I was 30, so about 12 years later, and in between I gained a bunch of weight, had my 3 babies. So I'm 30 years old. My dad dies that year. I had lost a bunch of weight. So there were only 2 times in my life that I really lost a bunch of weight. The rest of it, I've always been overweight my entire life. And so for me to even think that I could lose weight and keep it off in my 50s is kind of a joke. Why would I ever think that? Why would I ever believe in myself? And the answer is I didn't. I didn't believe in myself. I just took one step in front of the other because I didn't have me. You guys have me, right? On the other side of a video. I didn't have me. So I just had whatever. So this was me, 2X in size. Okay. This is at that 50-year mark. Okay. I have another one. Here's another one. Well, here's the one of me, all 3. So kind of like my progression, my before and after. Oopsie. My before is my progression. Okay. So I started as a 2X and now I'm going through my whole process and I'm like, oh my gosh, if I have high insulin, I can't burn fat. If I have a sluggish liver, I can't burn fat. I need to do these things. And then people are like, do you keep taking supplements? Yeah, I do. That's why I talk to you about them in my stories all the time, because I'm not going back. And I don't mean that like, oh, now we're dependent on, I want my body to function. Does your body function naturally go up as you age, or does it typically like start to wane? You answer for yourself, right? We know that we're losing muscle mass. Well, so if we're losing muscle mass just because it's an aging factor, then we need to build muscle. If our body is not increasing in function and it's decreasing in function over time, slowly over time, I'm fighting that, right? It's just like your skincare, right? Like you can't stop aging. And if you're not willing to go get a facelift, which I'm not, you can do whatever you want, but I don't want a facelift. I don't want to do it. I haven't done any med spa stuff on my face, no Botox, I'm not interested. It's just me. Okay. But since I know I'm not going to do that, then I'm going to do everything else that I can do. Right. So there we go. See you later, Terry. Good to see you. Oh, yay. Sleep Masterclass info. Yes, I will do that. Diane, good to see you. Good to see you. So I'm going to put up on the top, Diane, for you, the group. It's called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And you can just look that up on Facebook. It's a group that we started 2.5 years ago. Give your email, tell them Kirsten sent you, and then the Sleep Master class is pinned in the featured section of the group. And we did it 2 Saturdays, well, about 10 days ago now. It's fresh. It's very fresh, okay? Good value. I had a business associate of mine. She's a cosmetologist. And she gave some really, really good practical information. So total body reset. And again, if you are brand new and you purchase while I'm live, which I should show you right there. There's my site. Register as a customer, and I will send you an extra bottle of this one that's being they are reformulating it. And so what I did was I purchased some inventory, and I'm going to give an extra bottle to new customers. Okay, but this is what we're doing. So I started my 2X in size, 3 supplements. I have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. The whole idea is that you're bringing down your insulin, you're bringing down your sugars, you're bringing down your you're increasing your liver function, and you're helping your metabolism. This one is getting reformulated. It's actually going to get pulled, I think, in April or while supplies last. I have a backup that I'm testing right now. It's the 3rd one. I think it's the one. So I've got you. It'll be from a different line. That's the way that this is going to go, because it's going to take them a while. They do a lot of herbal trials. Anyway, point being, I got you covered. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing for the brand newest customer. I do not want people to be a brand new customer and wonder, why in the world is this a part of the total body reset and now it's gone? So I'm going to back you up, and I'm going to bridge that gap for you, because this is just what I do. Okay. So while I'm live, you can actually go to my site, KirstenLiebelt.com. Total body reset is right there. If you've been watching, I know that somebody, you might have been like, well, you're brand new to me. That's fine. Then don't worry about it right now. But you're somebody who's watched for months. You're like, I keep thinking about, doing this. Okay. That you're who I'm talking to, because I want to make sure that you start out properly. Okay. Anyway, those 3, and then the other 3 pieces are powders. Super, super simple. This is a gut primer. I already took mine this morning, just like this. 1 little scoop, but it is extremely comprehensive. It's for all of the facets of your gut. It's a gastrointestinal primer, probably something you've never even considered taking before, because maybe you've heard about greens products and you add greens to your smoothies, blur, blur, blur. That's not this. This is, the greens are already fermented. So for you that doesn't have a gallbladder, for you that has acid reflux, for you that has issues with whatever, the greens are already fermented. The spices are already alkaline. You already have digestive enzymes in here, pre and postbiotics. You already have concentrate extracts from fruits and vegetables off of organic farms. It's all ready for you. So I put this into a little bit of cold water. I like to use really ice cold water. And actually I use my berry water is what I do, because I'm not a green tea person. And even though this is not green tea, it's a green tea taste. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I would never, this is me. If you go and you buy matchas, you're the people who love this. And you message me and you're like, I love that because it has that green tea matcha taste. And you like that. So that's not me. Instead, I would be the one to go and order like, I'll take the, I don't even know because it's been so long, but I'm going to take the most sugared, creamy coffee, caramely, whipped creamy with chocolate on top coffee drink at, it's going to be like 1,500 calories at Starbucks. That's me. I would never in a million years go buy a matcha. Just me. Okay. So I put it in really cold water. I froth it up. It's super smooth. It's not grainy. It's not granular. It's not like there's no texture to it. Okay. That's number 4. Number 5 is the probiotic, you guys. This is the repopulation of your gut microbiome, 5 live strains. And then this is the fat burner. So this is like your visceral fat. So all of you that are talking about like your belly fat, you have to understand what you're talking about. You have fat that you can squeeze. You have your muffin top. Okay, we all got our little muffin top. That's not the fat we're talking about. However, that decreases, but it's decreasing from the inside out. So it's like fat cells like this, and they start to do this. Okay, that's why you lose the inches. Measure yourself under your boob, your waist, and your hip. You're going to lose the weight around your whole trunk. Visceral fat is what's laid down when you have high insulin and it can't get into your cell anymore. And it's a fat storing hormone. So fat storing right around here, your whole trunk area. And you're like, what is going on? Why is this happening to me? That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Diane, you are so welcome. You are so welcome. So that's why when I started to source these from me, that's what I did. This is me developing my own universe for me. And then I started talking to people locally and then now online. And the testimonies are a little bit off the charts. The testimonies are a little crazy. Some of the ones that I had put in my stories, the one that I just got last week. I mean, oh my gosh, she might even be on here. I don't know. I mean, she ends with, so I'll start with, she ends with, basically, oh, by the way, my blood sugar is now averaging 97. Inches are gone and I'm 20 pounds off. I have 20 pounds that came off. She finishes with that. And she started in October. So this is what she's done. Last October, I've improved my emotions, cut out my food noise, and I don't fall apart if I eat a handful of chips or French fries once in a while. This week, I had to stop all of my supplements cold turkey to prepare, she's meaning the total body reset, for my upcoming shoulder replacement next Tuesday, which is actually tomorrow. That's how fresh this is, so everybody can pray for her. I will ask for prayers while I'm healing, and I cannot wait to get my total body reset supplements reinstated. I've prepared many protein meals in my freezer to help me stay on track. Last Saturday, I somehow ended up with a pinched nerve in my lower back. The pain has really affected my mood in a bad way, but I am not eating badly to compensate. I believe that's due to your efforts to teach us how to live a better life. I'd give you the biggest hug. So that's where the challenge comes in, I believe, and really helps people. You have to change your mindset. These are not character flaws that you can't stay on track. These are biological conversations, and we can fix them. And you can detail your body just like you detail a car. You can detail your body the same way. You can go in, you can be like, I'm going to change my filter. I'm going to change my, whatever. I'm going to tighten up a nut and a bolt, and I'm going to do all of the things. I'm going to flush the systems. I'm going to fill all of the fluids. That's what you're doing. You're like, I'm so bloated all the time. I'm so sick of bloating. Hey, why don't you try a system that actually has a gut primer in it that'll take that bloating down? Why don't you try something that'll help to thin out your bile so that you actually have flow and your impacted waste can move? Why don't you try something that targets your liver, your insulin, your gut, your visceral fat? That concept is not the concept that's taught when we're marketed to by companies who have put together fancy packaging. This one came in just a couple weeks ago, and I love this one too. You might be on here also. My doctor said, keep up the good work. Best labs all around. She said, you know what you're talking about. Keep following her. So thank you. I'm 68. So age is not an excuse either. I have been with this doctor for a long time, and she knows my family history. My mom went to her before she passed away. She was type 2. She had cirrhosis at the end of her life. That's why we talk about liver all the time, you guys. My brother goes to her also. He is type 2. I know doctors don't usually say follow someone on the internet, but I think she realized all the good information that I have received from you, and she thinks I'm in a better place right now, so I should keep going and doing what I'm doing. Thank you again. This another one, last one I'll do. I'm a fairly new follower, about 6 weeks. Started the total body reset in January. I was diagnosed with type 2 last May with a glucose reading over 10. So A1C, right? You guys are y'all tracking with these numbers? I love the numbers. And through exercise and eating changes, I brought it down to a 6.0. However, and this is actually kind of common. You don't know how common this is, that I have people kind of come to me and go, okay, I've made strides, but now I'm stuck. And I can't quite figure out how to move the needle. And not one doctor is talking to them about dealing with their inner system. I'd been stuck there and at the same weight since September. Since starting the total body reset and switching out foods, my fasting glucose has dropped from 114 to 120 down to 89 to 94. And my post-meal numbers are now staying under 150. My doctor just lowered my MET to 500 with the goal of being off of it in the next 3-month checkup. Okay, I lied. One more. Sorry. I apologize. I had one more. I'm on day 14. These are all new, you guys. They're all fresh. I'm on day 14, lost 4 pounds, feel better, more energy, sleeping well. But most of all, my blood sugar reading, love this, had been from 102 to 104. My blood sugar reading has been 102, 104. This is unbelievable. I've had diabetes for 20 years. I haven't had this low of blood sugar readings in many, many years. So happy. So I tell you that because number one, you have to understand what happens when you shift your mindset to a root cause wellness program thought process. And number two, I want the newest person to understand that when you are a new customer, and like I said, you can register to be a new customer and order the total body reset while I'm on live. And I'm going to send you an extra one of these. You're going to get one, and I'm going to send you a bottle. This is the glucose product. I have a backup from a different line for you guys when this is gone. It's just really an important piece of your puzzle. You have to understand how to get down your insulin and your sugars. So these results come from a comprehensive, it's kind of like putting together a Rubik's Cube a little bit. And so that you're doing it kind of like a little bit of a done for you bundle. Like instead of like over here from this mart and over here from this drugstore and over here, I got a sample at this, warehouse place, and all of these things, or my friend is taking this off of Amazon, and have somebody to do a little bit of research for you to figure it all out, to put it together, make it extremely simple, and then cash in on your bonuses. Just cash in, have somebody else pay for your wellness journey. Why wouldn't you, right? And you may not know that when you purchase 150 or more 3 months in a row, you get $75 off, and you don't even have to do anything for that. You don't have to track it or subscribe to anything. You don't have to have an auto ship, nothing. In fact, you don't even have to choose the total body reset. You just have to have 150 subtotal or more. This is just what I'm teaching you to get your body to deliver you a different result, something other than belly fat and lack of sleep and exhaustion and anxiety and 10, 12 meds. Like, I talk to all of you, and these are all testimonies that have come because of that. Very good, Marilyn. Good to see you. Happy Monday, New York, New York. So does anybody have any questions, or are we good? We are just Monday morning it today, aren't we? I'm telling you, Monday morning can be so interesting. I got up and I'm like, okay, we have the challenge at 1 p.m. Central. So I need to I'm like, okay, where, want to be ready for you guys. I want to be able to deliver you the best that I can deliver you. And so if you're already in the group, set an alarm on your phone. It's my best tip ever, because when you do that, you don't rely on Facebook notifications, because they are not good. You guys, they already know that you have tons of notifications from tons of groups. And so they're just not going to send you, they're just not going to. They're not going to notify you every time something's happening. So you just have to recognize that Facebook groups have become just a little too too saturated for you guys. So, okay. I think that's it for today. We are going to I'm going to see you guys. Oh, lots of people are grabbing the free protein blueprint. That's very, very good. That's very good. I'm going to see you guys at 1 p.m. Central. Hold on. I'm going to see here. I'm going to see you guys at 1 p.m. Central. And then today will be kind of like our kickoff day. Tomorrow is when we do food ingredient trade-outs. Wednesday is when we do my pantry and my refrigerator tour. Thursday, we do a deep dive into supplementation, because I know I go fast. Plus, there are other things that I want to talk to you about, especially when it comes to sleep or anxiety. And then Friday, we do a recipe. So don't miss out on any of the days. And it's the same time every day. You don't even have to sign up for it. You just have to show up. So anyway, all right. Have such a good Monday. And I'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. And we will challenge Facebook, Diane. Yes. Let me grab that for you. Let me grab you the information. Here we go. Up at the top, I just changed it. So it's Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Just put in your email, tell them Kirsten sent you, in that group at 1 p.m. Central today. So that is in an hour and 8 minutes. I will just appear and I will go live. And this is our 30-second one, you guys. 30-second one. We've done this for 2.5 years, almost 3. I'll just go live, and this is what we do then every single day, Monday through Friday. And my goal and my intent with you, this is kind of like our group coaching sessions right here every day, Monday through Friday. That is really intended for you to get a couple of nuggets. How do I change up my food ingredients? How do I think differently about creating a recipe? Where's my mindset around food? All of that kind of stuff. I can really go a little deeper and, whatever. And you guys can ask questions, etc. So jump in there, set your alarm on your phone, and absolutely everybody can benefit from that. There's nobody that can't benefit from 1 to 2 little nuggets that you could add to your life and implement. And then in April, we'll do another one. And the whole idea is that when you can take something and you can commit to 90 days, do a 90-day run. That's 3 challenges. That's 90 days of your targeted supplementation. Then you can assess and you can go another round. And then you can assess and you can go another round. Terry, she had to jump off, she said, Terry has actually, this is her, you're welcome, Diane. This is her it might be her 22nd or 23rd challenge in a row. But what she did was she started doing the challenges. She started doing the total body reset. She moved on. She lost 50 pounds. She was 62 when she started. She's 63 now. She kept going, kept gaining little nuggets here and there. And she weighs less than she did 30 years ago. I'll never forget the day she texted me and said, I can tuck in my blouse. And she's still going. She's still supplementing. She's still coming to all of the challenges. She has now kept it off for over a year. That is the sentence you want to hear. You want to hear people say, not, I just lost the weight. That's only half of the story. You want to hear people say, I lost the weight and I kept it off. Because then that tells you that something shifted in their understanding as to how to get their body to deliver that maintenance result. How did that happen? You have to ask that question. How did that happen? It's very, very exciting. It's incredibly empowering, and I don't fear anymore going back. You know, I'm this size, 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 I'm the steady as she goes. Now, doesn't mean that I don't have goals. Of course I have goals, right? But I've never gone back. She's never gone back. Anyway, I love that with the challenges for you guys. I really, really do. It's very, very helpful. And if, you know, when I give information here, always know that if I go too fast on something, I probably have a backup for you to help you further. Like if we talk about something here and you're like, I'd kind of like to know more, then get into the group and follow the free challenge. Like there's another level, there's another layer, there's something else to help you. If you're like, okay, well, you're talking about the total body reset and that's fine and all, but like I have questions, or you went through it so fast. Some people will say that to me. You go through that so fast. Well, if you go to KirstenLiebelt.com, this is my website right here. And it's, it was up at the top. I can change it. But I'll show you where you can see like a little 9-minute video. I'm always trying to think of how can I help you to get better understanding? Because if you get better understanding, then you'll get the results like other women that like get off of meds and like take back their health, take back their life. Like she said, she's been diabetic for 20 years. Like, you know, to finally have an answer is amazing. So KirstenLiebelt.com, here's my face, you'll see. And the total body reset is right here, second button. If you press on that, that's my before and after that you saw earlier. Everything is in one cart right there. You can click on that. You can register with your name at the top of the page. There's a little person icon. Right here is a 9-minute video that I did. I'll have to redo it now when we switch out the glucose product. I'll redo it for you guys. But there's a 9-minute video so that you can go slowly with me. Be a little more intentional in understanding. But there's also a bunch of free resources, and my story is typed out and some testimonies. So I'm just telling you, like, there's a lot there. I'm always trying to think, how can I layer another piece for you of something that would help you so that you can gain understanding? Because I know we say knowledge is power, but the truth is that it's not knowledge is power. Applied knowledge is power. When you apply what you learn, when you apply what you hear, that's power. That's how you change your world. I hope that makes sense. Shannon. Good morning, Shannon. Doing so good. We're getting ready to wrap up, and we're going to go into the challenge in 1 hour in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. We're going to go into the group, and we'll do day 1 of the 5-day challenge. So I hope you'll be there. I hope I'll see you there. Set your alarm on your phone, and that's what we're going to do. So, all right. Have such a good day, you guys. I'll see you here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central. And again, if you're new to my world, stick around in general because we've got good things. Marilyn, see you there. All right. Bye, you guys. Have a really good Monday. Make it a good one.